It's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up and enforce the rule of law. The President of these United States is not above the law.
No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules.
Please sue him for us.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the
And now the Trump Justice Department may be...
I'm sorry, before we go any further, she swore up and down that she was not campaigning on getting Donald Trump. She swore up and down. Yet there are video after video after video after video. Just like she's talking to that young gal. Please tell me you're going to sue him. Oh, yeah, we're going to sue him. We're going to be a real thorn in his side. It's like, at some point, your bad behavior, and by the way, it's her bad behavior, is causing what's coming her way.
Be a pain in her, you know what. The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type and more favorable loan. Joining me now is Jonathan Turley, Fox News.
Remember the saying, they always accuse you of what they are guilty of? And you got to know, like, this is Fox. You got to know that the media is going to go berserk and say he's going after his political opponents. It's like, okay, is any of that true? Is any of it true? And by the way, it gets worse. It gets worse. Okay. But is any of it true? You see, here's the thing with about the one case about falsifying, documents about the worth of Mar-a-Lago, that it's only worth 18 million. It's like it was insane to make that assertion. Insane. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. But keep this in mind, okay, as we look at this. In the case against Donald Trump, no one was harmed. There was no victim. All of the parties did their own due diligence on the property. Everyone involved were highly sophisticated investors, highly sophisticated. They've done it over and over and over and over again. They were veterans but they all couldn't wait to do it all over again because apparently everybody made money. And by the way, they had a summary judgment. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm not a lawyer, all right? But a summary judgment is pretty much bypassing the jury. And what it says is the judge looks at the facts that have been presented and makes a judgment based on the complaint. So there's no jury. So he doesn't get to state his case, his side. He doesn't get to interview anybody. This is it. A summary judgment means we're just going to take it that he's guilty. And here's your fine. I think it was $54 million. Just insanity.
He's a contributor and law professor at GW University. Jonathan, mortgage fraud is rampant in the United States. There's all sorts of fraud that's rampant. There's disability fraud that they've vowed to crack down on in the Trump administration. But this is another thing that they have vowed to crack down on because it costs real money. Your reaction to these allegations?
Well, obviously, the irony is perfectly crushing. This is a person who prosecuted Trump for everything short of ripping a label off a mattress. And among the charges that were brought in New York, in not just the civil but the criminal case, was making false or misleading statements to financial institutions. And one of these sections, Section 1014 of the federal code, is prosecuted. It took me about 60 seconds of a search to find cases that the Department of Justice brought against people who falsely claimed that property was their principal residence in order to get loans. So this is well-tread areas for the Justice Department. As for James, if we apply the Letitia James standard that she created, there'd be little question here. This seems pretty straightforward. What the administration is saying is this was not her principal residence. In fact, as a New York elected official, she had to say that her principal residence was in New York. This was an out-of-state residence. But also, they claim that in some of these forms, she actually states that her father is her husband in order to file as a married couple. So there's a lot of those questions. And as you know, the Supreme Court just stated earlier in March in a case called Thompson that they want to see knowing false statements under sections like 1014, not just misleading statements. These are misleading statements. Either it's your principal residence or it's not.
Or it's not.
Either you're married to your father or he's your father. So
So she accuses, no, she doesn't just accuse. She prosecutes Donald Trump for falsifying records, business records. Knowing full well, she claimed that her dad was her husband to get a more, I guess, favorable loan. Or and I don't know how. I'm not in New York. I'm not in Virginia. I don't know. But apparently, she's probably. I'm just going out on a limb. She's probably not married to her dad. This is it. Look. By the way, I've been waiting for this. Full disclosure. Okay, I've been waiting for this. That Trump would go after these crooked prosecutors and these crooked judges. I've been waiting for this. Seriously. And by the way, I have no qualms, and I will tell you up front, I want her prosecuted to the full extent of the law. If there is a fine, if there was a 2 minutes worth of jail time, you get, we got to give $15,000 and you get 30 minutes in jail. I want all 30 minutes. I would, whatever the fine is, whatever the time is, I don't care. I want all of it. If it's 30 minutes, I want all 30 minutes. And if it's 30 years, I want all 30 years.